once you have the internet, once the internet comes along, all these brilliant things these people have created is able to be accessed by other brilliant people. Right. So people that are coming around now that are the future Einsteins, well, they have the original Einstein's works all on the internet.
Right.
And you can get the internet pretty much anywhere these days.
So I think it's arguable, though, that not as many people would be as smart as Einstein would put it into practice and figure stuff out. And I think that's a whole different ballgame.
I think
talk about skills and stuff.
I think it's diluted these days.
Yeah.
Because I think the number of Einsteins that come in this world, level of intellect, is still about the same as it was when Einstein was around.
Mm-hmm.
The problem these days is it gets diluted, and not necessarily the people that are like that are the ones that pushed to the front.
Right,
So
and I think it's also like, so that when they're studying IQ, which is controversial in itself, they had this, I think that they did it in California, and I can't remember the study specifically, but they watched these kids, they put the highest IQ kids all in the same school and class, and they watched them for the rest of their life. But they pumped these kids up. They graduated high school and middle school and college early, and they pumped them up. They're like, you guys are going to be the greatest, and you're going to be the most successful in life. And 50% of them, by the time they're 30 or 40, crippling depression.
Yeah, of course.
And it's the entitlement that
you're aware of the Unabomber is, right?
The
Unabomber.
Yeah, but
so the Unabomber. So the Unabomber was one of those people.
I don't know the details.
He was in that.
Really?
Yeah.
No
he was
way.
in the 70s, or I believe it was in the 60s and 70s. He was Einstein level intellect and the genius of an individual, and went through college and was selected by, I believe, the CIA to do experiments and stuff and be tested on.
Wow.
And went bonkers. And then once he realized that he was messed up and he needed to get away from society, and so he left. He completely went away, went and lived in the woods for about 10 years until technological developments and malls started to come in and tear his woods down. And so what the Unabomber did is he realized what was going on, and so he started targeting the people that were building all this stuff around him and the politicians that were pushing these things and destroying the things that made him, in his own mind, normal, and started planting bombs and mailing bombs and plotting out the things he would do.
How far did he go? I'm not too familiar with
so
the
he planted,
results.
Believe at most, you might want to double check me on this. I think there was 4 to 8 deaths in total. A lot of injuries, burns, and that type of thing.
Right.
But mostly it would be planting bombs in mailboxes and stuff like that.
Wow. And he was doing this when? What time era?
Believe 80s and 90s.
80s and 90s?
Believe so.
Yeah, we'll get a double check on that. But that's crazy. I didn't know he was a part of that group.
It was
Between
between 1978 and 1995.
1978 and 19...
Yeah.
Killed 3 people, injured 23.
Mm-hmm.
1978 and 1995.
I knew it was 80s and 90s, so.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, Unabomber. There's plenty of other people like him, too.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing.
So if you have a high IQ, it's not always used for good, and you could be directed in the wrong way.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Is he was one of the people you're referencing in that study.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
At least in another form of that study in,
Yeah, they've done it multiple other
I don't know if it was
places.
that specific one you're referencing, but I know it was very similar. The CIA recruited him and tested him and did all this stuff, and then he just went crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is he tried to get away, which is what's fascinating.
Yeah.
Is he tried to escape, and it caught up to him,
Yeah.
and it really made him go crazy.
Yeah, he's just like,
Yeah, no, it
they're
was over.
taking my woods.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bomb. That's probably bad to say.
I mean, not
what
necessarily
happened.
in that context, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So, the Unabomber is an interesting thing to read. He wrote all of his manifestos and published them. They're all hand-typed.
This
Typewriter.
is so unfortunate, and it's unfortunate that IQ is, and people are directed that way.
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate, too, when all these technologies and this ideas are lost in history.
Mm-hmm.
The Library of Alexandria.
Oh, yeah, the Alexandria Library burning down. There's no telling what was in there.
I know. I mean, they talked about that Jesus might have actually, like the Bible actually passed through there at one point.
Yeah,
because they don't know how old.
Turin did. Believe I know the Ark supposedly had went through that area. That's the interesting thing is the Ark of Covenant's a very fascinating thing to me.
Yeah.
Regardless if you think the physical existence of it or the spiritual existence is a very interesting idea. That, let's say physical, there is a box out there. This box contains all of the original rules that God gave people to live by. 10 rules. And they're on these stone tablets. And you can read them if you're the right person to read them. If you're not, and you touch the box, it's 12:15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if you touch the box, you die. If you're not the right person to touch it. Touch it. Like there's several in the Old Testament. There's a parade where David brought in the 10 Commandments into Jerusalem. And one dude was holding on the bars wrong and it started to slide, so he went to put his hand on it to move it back.
Killed him?
Fell over dead instantly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's in the Bible. So
crazy.
It's interesting to think that there's this thing out there that predestines people that can read what's in it. It's fascinating to me that's potentially a thing.
So what is what are the requirements for you to be able to read it? Does it say?
It's the people God picks.
Oh, okay.
You don't know until you touch it.
The chosen ones.
You don't know until you touch it.